What's up? What's up? What's up, people? We are live again tonight. That's twice. Twice. We got a morning stream in, taught some classes, and here we are back again. Hello, Whimsy. I'm here because of your suggestion. So, all of you have Whimsy to thank for me being online today and streaming. Done wrong. What's up, Illuminati? That's what I'm gonna call you now, since you did Illuminati triangles. The morning one was good too. Stefan, man, what's going on? How you doing? There's your 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, the morning one was actually a pretty good stream, if I can say so myself. We actually got we did the drawings of this. So let's see, we got the scribble sketch, and then we were able to put some stuff together, which, by the way, we're gonna combine all these down. No need to have 5 million layers for no reason. What is the name? What is this one's name? I don't know yet. What's up, Chris? Chris was at the morning stream. I don't know, but because I had to get ready to school and all, I literally fell really far behind on finishing up these characters, so I have to make an apology to my Patreon people. I just dipped off of the internet for a while, and I will be making it up, I promise. So, like I said, that's my bad, but I do plan on making it up. I'll have a story for this guy, because this was a sticker dude, right? So this was that red ninja that you guys selected. Tomorrow you'll have new profiles to choose from. So, yeah. But like I said, that was my bad. I literally could not keep on top of everything. Yeah. But yeah, living life. I also back in college, going for a master's. Nice. What are you studying? What are you gonna be studying for your master's? I love your Raid Train stream last night. Oh yeah, that one was cool. That was a lot of fun. I was very blessed to be part of that. And at one point I thought I was gonna miss it. I was super sad. I was like, I can't miss it. It's the first one. So luckily, thanks to Vlupsy, who was there, it was a great success. Did a whole lot of things. I loved it. I need a new sticker and planner to put on. And planner to put it on. Hey. Well, new sticker. You'll have a new sticker soon. Like I said, so the new vote will be up tomorrow, and then it'll go for a week, and then I'll go get it printed. I wonder which ones you guys are gonna select this time. Themed experience. Okay. What does that mean? I'm like, themed experience. It sounds interesting. Are you making theme parks? That'd be cool. Because at one point, I know that at SCAD, you actually could, you could actually get a degree in theme park design, which was pretty cool. But I mean, that is such a unique major. Like, how many theme parks are you really gonna be? Theme parks and immersive entertainment. Okay. Like, are you worried about going into something that's so unique? I mean, it's not unique. There are a lot of places, but I mean, you got like Six Flags, you got Disney, Universal. Busch Gardens, Hershey Park. You know, it's like, Bert. You know what I mean? It's like, where do you go? Like, what do you do? He's now at UCF. Okay. Like, it's just, it's an interesting thing. I would love to make theme parks. Absolutely loved. Actually, I think more so, I'd like to fabricate the actual theme parks. Like, I was once introduced to, you know, some theme park creators, which was awesome. And seeing how stuff was made out of just nothing, you know, not nothing, but if you see this tree, you know, you see a tree but it's made out of foam. And you're like, what? Now going, like, I brought a friend of mine. We were in Florida. There's a story for everyone else. I brought a friend to Florida, or who was in Florida, and we got to see the creation of some things. And then we went to the theme park in Disney, and we're like, oh man, we know how that was made. So it's kind of like, oh man, we know how the sausage is made. It was so cool though. And I was like, what have I been doing with my life? I wish that I was independently wealthy so that I could actually go back to people like that in different industries and just be like, teach me. Like, teach me how to do this. This is so cool. You know, to learn something else and be able to create something, you know, out of almost nothing. Right? People look at like foam core and they're just like, oh, you know what I'm gonna make out of this? Plated armor. And you're like, how in the hell are you gonna make plated armor out of a sheet of paper? And then 2-3 hours later it's like, oh you know, because yeah. It's like, because yeah. Does anyone else, I mean, does anyone else look at another industry and then it's like, and you're just like, what are you doing? Oh, you know, it's like, what are you doing? And then it's like, oh my goodness, this is awesome. You know, because Stefan's over here making awesome stuff. So my story was about him, just in case you didn't know. My story is about him. But being able to, like, I was able to jump into his studio and check it out. He was nice enough to let me in. We were talking about school and trying to get interns and stuff like that. And he was able to show me all this awesomeness. And I'm like, I just want to learn. Like, teach me. Can I come here and, like, you teach me? But I ain't rich, so I can't live off of nothing. So I couldn't just sweep his floors while he was doing his thing. But, gosh, man, it's so freaking awesome. Like, as I've gotten older, I started looking at so many other people's stuff. Like, if you don't know Whimsy, you should go check out Whimsy Crafting. Does amazing stuff, right? And she makes masks and t-shirts and clothing and prints stickers and makes custom glasses and everything. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's freaking amazing. Teach me. I want to learn, you know? And I see people who are doing the cosplay stuff and I'm like, oh my goodness, teach me how to do that. And like, I want to learn all the things. I want to learn all the things. All the things. Well, that's what I do for a living now, so I just want to move up the creative ladder and be more in the creative director. Okay, that makes sense. design. That, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. You know, to really like push your creative thought process into some of this stuff, because I mean, you have some really cool, cool ideas and stuff, and if you can push that onto like Universal or Disney or Six Flags or anything like that, if you can do that, that would be awesome. You're like, no, that whole experience, that was me. You're like, oh man, that'd be awesome. What'd you say? It says, oh, thank you. You're welcome back anytime, dude. I would. When COVID is less deadly, we're gonna come back and visit our friends down in Orlando, and so I will gladly take you up on that. I'm pretty sure the rest of my family might not be as interested, but man, like I said, I loved every single second of being in your studio. Like, every single second about being there was amazing. Even though you still haven't made my sword, but that's a different story. You didn't think you were gonna get away with that, did you? Your son wants my latest item. What's your latest item? Me too. Make all the things, man. I'm doing this style. I don't know if you've seen, like, so I'm doing this new style. It's new for me. See if we can open anything. Nope. Okay. Wonder has pictures. Okay, I'll check it out. Let's see. So I'm doing this new style because I want to make toys. So where is it? What am I looking for? I have no idea what folder I'm actually looking for right now. That is not it. That is definitely not it. Any character? That's not it either. So like this guy, right? So I want to make toys. Like, I think at first it's gonna be like Funko Pops. But I want to make toys, and oh gosh, if I could put some of my toys up here with the rest of them, like if I could have one of these with my own character on it, forget about it. Forget about it. You would not be able to you wouldn't be able to bear me, because it would be so freaking awesome. Well, they can go chill at the parks and we'll make all the things nice. Okay, I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna hold you to that, because I am all about it. Wonder has pictures, and you'll probably be taking it home this weekend. Okay, because what he wants, he gets. Okay, toys. Haha, yes, the sword. I have a shelf for figures, just saying, they're coming. It's not a question if, but when. I know that for a fact. Like, a lot of stuff is hinging off of getting the main 12 together. Once the main 12 are done, and I can start making like little stories and stuff like that, that's when it becomes time for toys. But I need to get a base. I need to get a good base started first. So, but I can probably say with very good confidence that in 2021, Ninja Empire figures, they're coming. Oh my goodness, if I could be at a convention and have figures too, it's like, oh yeah, this is my story. Wow, you made these? Yes, I did. And I have a friend, he does 3D printing, so I'll probably be able to work that out, which would be awesome. So, maybe 3D printed, maybe casted, I don't know, we'll find out. Oichiro right now, but Twitter says it is not available right now. Really? now is Subtober. What did they say? September over on Twitch. September. They keep coming up with all kinds of weird stuff, trying to get people to sub. It's kind of cute. They're also giving, for people who pay, who are not using their like Amazon Prime, it's like 30% off now for them. Pretty sweet. Yep, there it is. Oh man, dang it. And then I can tell you right now that for all the people who support me over on Patreon and stuff like that, you guys will get discounts to figures. You know that's a thing. Like, that's just a thing that has to happen. Figures would be awesome. Figures, whoop, yep. Well, I mean, come on. People over at, the people over on Patreon there, and you guys are supporting me every month. Gotta break off some stuff to you guys somewhere, right? So what's gonna be really funny is when I don't, like, did it fall down? It did. I was like, did it fall down? It did. And it didn't go all the way down either. So hold on. Or did it? I don't know where my comic went. There it is. Okay, hold on. Bear with me. Okay, when I start actually putting this out to the public, right? Ninja Empire Concepts. This was going to be the book for 2020, right? This was going to be, the book for 2020, right? It was going to show the early concepts for Ninja Empire. But now this book shows nothing of the new stuff. Like, all of the new, everything, just all of the new is not in this book, right? Like, I've moved on to this, not this, to something else. And so now, like, this is kind of important because I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm not doing this style anymore. Even though what's weird is that my all my sketches are still like that. Like, I will actually draw, this way. So I'll actually draw my sketches in the old style. Like, I do everything the same way. And then once I have the design down, and I'm like, yes, I like this drawing, right? I'll actually then start working out what I think it should look like in the chibi style. So it's gonna be interesting when I actually put together an art book and I get to show the transition and how I still work with the old stuff. It's gonna be interesting. I think the art book's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully in 2021 there'll be an art book, and I mean art book, not sketchbook, but art book. Like, I want to make a full-on 300-page hardcover art book. Like, that's the plan. But I'm gonna have to produce a lot more work and be a lot more in the public eye, because I know that that's something that I do not do as much as I should, as far as like promoting this, promoting the YouTube and Twitch channel streams, or the Patreon stuff. I'm just like, oh, it'll work itself out. People will find me. Yeah, I'm done with that. Now's the time to really push. and be like, all right, guys, I want this to be a thing. Hopefully you want this to be a thing. Let's make it a thing. I like the character design book. Yep, I'm making an art book. Like, you know, the art of Overwatch or Blizzard or Star Wars or anything like that. That's where we're going. That's the next big artistic thing that I hope to accomplish. I've always wanted one of those coffee table art books, never did anything about it. Like, I could have done one with Dark Legacy for sure, right? There's a lot of work there, a lot of story that went into that, but I didn't. And it's not that I necessarily regret it, but I do lament the fact that I could have done an art book, right? And with a project that now is owned by someone else, but I could have done it, right? Like, I could have done an art book, and that would have been something that really would have cemented it for me, you know? Does that make sense? Because they're not going to do an art book. And the bad part is, like, I've done sketches or sketchbooks that had stuff in it, but there's no, like, oh, look at this, it's on my bookshelf art book, right, for Dark Legacy. And even if I get the rights back to Dark Legacy, I'm not gonna make an art book. I don't see that. So I'm gonna make sure that I do that with this one. I was like, I better get a free book. Maybe. It depends. It depends. You gotta keep producing good work. Prove that you actually deserve it. Don't need you getting lazy out there in New York. Love the new style. Thank you. Just uploaded art to my Instagram after 3 years. That's a long, dude. You can't do that. Not if you're gonna try and get an audience. Like, I'm legit trying to, you know, build an audience so that I can do my own work. Then you're definitely gonna have to post more than that. And I'm posting alright, like, on Instagram, but I know for a fact that I need to post more. And in my planner, I've already, like, put in, and I've already posted today. I'm gonna have something for tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna be posting at least once a day, every day, to try and get some attention, right, on my stuff. And before, like, I keep looking. One of the things that I've realized is that, you know, everybody has a different idea of what the different platforms should be used for. Some people are like, Instagram's for finished pieces, Instagram's only like a vlog type thing. Other people are like, it's your sketchbook. And so in the end, you know, you just got to figure out what the heck works for you. And to be honest, I want to use it as more, you know, it's a process book, right? So I can show you the pencils, the inks, the colors, if I'm not actually completing them in a timely fashion, you know what I mean? So if I came in, I drew the pencils and they're all nice and neat, and I'm like, all right, well, I got to go do something else, I can put that up there, right? I can put that image up there and people can be like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. And then I can come in and do another piece and a different, you know, and then do the inks and then do the colors and stuff like that. So I really want to be able to use Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff to actually promote the fact that I'm using this. I mean, that I'm making this project. And yeah, so I need to get on that. I'm gonna do it. You should do it. You know, don't be like me and wait until you're, an old man and then trying to go, all right, let me try and use this, platform. You now have the ability to jump on it. Don't take it for granted. Go, all right, I know what I'm trying to do here. Let's get to work. Let's do it. I don't get lazy. I just meditate for a long time. It's fair. I can get with that. Just don't become Rip Van Winkle. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I slept for too long. And one thing, I'm actually making my life a lot harder when it comes to things, because I know that, I used to post this, coming up with a story and stuff on YouTube to help build my YouTube channel and stuff like that. And I want to keep doing that, and I'm going to start doing a different segment. But the thing is that I would look at this because it is done on Twitch, and I have the overlay and everything, and it's like, oh my goodness, definitely gotta pop that out and help people see it. And it's like, oh my goodness, you've got the overlay, people don't actually see what's going on, stuff is kind of taken away. And I know that, like, I can look at it and be like, all right, there's still some stuff, like, it's taking up a lot of real estate, all the display stuff, but I think it's actually creating the mood for what Ninja Empire is. And so I'm going to start using it instead of going, no, I need to make sure that it has a clear background and it looks like this and I can do this, that, and the other thing. Nope. I'm just going to use it, right? Why not use the content that I'm creating to benefit the content that I'm creating? So I'm going to go back and look at the ones that I created and go, hey, here's this. Don't forget about this. Go check this out. Go watch me do it live. So that way I'm not wasting as much time trying to create multiple things for different platforms. So one thing you really shouldn't do, right? Work less. Work smarter, not harder. How's everyone doing today? Like, you guys doing all right? Is anyone working? Anyone working with me? Or is everyone just kind of chilling out? There we go. Let's go. There we go. Yup. I finished my project for the day, so I'm chilling out. Nice. Pushing through homework right now. Good. Get that done. Are they still saying that you guys are going to be coming back in like 2 weeks? Like, y'all are gonna come back into campus? What are you doing? What's your homework? What are you actually doing? Curious. JMU just sent everyone home. I know. Who would have thunk? It's. I just don't understand how people are still surprised by this. Where they're like, I had no idea it was going to be this bad. It's like, how? There's so many colleges who are like, yeah, we contracted 250 to 580 new cases of COVID-19. I mean, that should be a sign, right? Like, it's a sign to me. It takes long, but I'm putting in color pencils, some classes. I'm doing a master copy of an artist from the MoCA. Sounds boring. He's like, no offense, but... And I mean, I understand the whole doing the master class thing, doing the copying the masters. I've been there, I've done that, right? But you happen to be a graphic designer, and there are no graphic designers up in the MoCA. So just seems like you got a lot of busy work going on. So, but you of all people know my stance on some of the stuff that they make you guys do over there. Put it up in the Discord. Okay. But his art, so let's see, it's very boring, but his art is very cool, modern, political. All right, well, I mean, as long as you're getting something out of it, that will be the main thing. But generally, that's, not necessarily the case. Do. Those types of classes are one of the reasons I didn't get a minor in art in college. I refused to take classes that weren't relevant. Yeah. And what's really funny is that when you get into those classes that are like, we teach fine art, they honestly believe that everyone is a fine artist, right? Even if you go in there and you're like, look, I'm a photographer, or, I'm a comic artist. They're like, that's great. You should learn how to do this. And you're just like, nope. All right, Stefan, man. I'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping in. It means a lot. And I will be taking you up on that offer. So just know I will be crashing your place, and we got to make something. I don't know what, but we got to make something. And as a person who actually got a fine arts degree, right? So I have a degree, 2 degrees actually in fine arts. What made it hilarious to me is how everyone was like, you need to be a fine artist. Put your beret on, get your long cigarette, holder, and be all like, oh, I believe that this white canvas painted white on a white wall is so whatever. Right? That is not me. And then what makes it really funny is when people are like, oh, you just don't get it. I'm like, no, I get it. I just don't like it. There's a huge difference, right? But when you get a degree in fine arts, people are like, oh, you like that kind of stuff. I'm like, No, I'm a commercial artist, right? I don't I don't do I don't do that. I'm a commercial artist. It's got to work. You got to see what it is, and it's got to, So, when I went in, I have to say, like when I went into Norfolk State, it is a fine arts degree, right? And that's what they believe in. It's a fine arts degree, but they're teaching commercial majors, but they're treating them like fine arts, and you can't do that. You just can't. Mostly because there's no time, right? You don't have months to create stuff. You just don't. Don't be imitating the New York artist. Look, man, it can't. It just can't. I had enough credits for an art degree, but I didn't have them in the correct class. Oh, come on. Yeah, see that, and it's that kind of stuff, where they're like, oh well, technically you have what it takes to get this degree because you didn't take hoity-toity 1 or 2, you're not allowed to get your degree, or your minor or something like that, and that's just people being snooty, and the bad part is, now, at least talking now, when you say you're an artist, people give you a shot, right? Because so much of art is in people's faces now, right? And they accept like movies, so they'll accept the idea of movies being art and seeing all types of toys and stuff like that. So now, when you say artist, you still have a shot, right? You can be like, okay, that's cool. What kind of artist are you, right? So you still have a shot, but for the most part, people still have that idea that when you say artist, A, you're going to be starving, right? And like, oh, you're going to be a starving artist. And it's like, okay. And that, everyone's Van Gogh, and you think that you're like eating paint and, doing all kinds of crazy stuff to get your art done, and you're misunderstood and all that stuff. And while you might very well be misunderstood, it's not because you're an artist, it's just you got issues. Like, let's just say what it is. You got issues. Just always surprises me how people react to artists, and then finding artists who actually give them the reason why they think that, because to be honest, stereotypes they exist for a reason, right? Now there are those that are just unjust, but there's some things when you're like, oh well, this is this, and you're like, man, stop living up to the stereotype. But, if you say comic artist, right, or comic book fan, now it's a little bit different because of all the Marvel movies and stuff, but not too long ago, when you said you were a comic book fan or artist, it was always like, oh, you're one of those people, right? And it's like, okay, I'm not. Or like when I was going through school and I was learning comics and I was going to be working for Marvel and stuff like that, and I came in and I was like, hey, so I'm a comic book artist. And they're like, really? You don't seem like you'd be a comic book artist. And it's like, I don't exactly know how to take that. What exactly do you mean by that? And it's not, they don't mean anything really by it. But still, I mean, that to me, I was like, oh, wait, ow, what are you trying to say? It's like the people that I represent. I'm like, what is going on here? And then you meet the people that they go, see that, remember there, that's a comic artist, and you're like, well, we're all not like that, right? We're all not like that. That's how it is when you say you're into anime. Yeah. Like, I like anime. I'm like, really? Like, there's some good stuff out there. And it's like, yeah, but there's some really creepy stuff or crappy stuff or, that's so childish. I'm like, well, yeah, if that's what you watch. You know what I mean? It's like, of course, if that's what you're watching, then of course it's going to be that way. But if not, there's some good stuff. The thing that I really love about like anime and manga, is because it's from a completely different culture, and they use it for completely different things. Like that's their training manual for so many things, right? The manga and stuff, like they use it for how when you're trying to potty train your child, right? There's a manga for that, it's part of their culture that we just don't understand. We understand it, but we don't accept for the most part. That they're like, why are all these comics? Why are these grown adults reading all these comics? That's shouldn't you be? And it's like, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a teacher, and so there's so many what you would call respectable positions and stuff that are going, but this is I read manga, and it's like, really? It's like, it shouldn't have that stigma, like, who cares? So if here's what I don't understand. If I tell you that I read I don't know, X-Men, right? If I tell you I read X-Men and you're like, ugh, like, really? I didn't picture you as that person. But then you turn around and break out that 1,000+ page book of Harry Potter, and it's like, what? Like, I don't understand. Why is your fiction more accepted than my fiction? And so that's something that has always kind of threw me for a loop when talking to people. You're like, I draw comics, and like, or I write comics, or I'm an animator and I made X-Men and whatever, and then they're just like, ugh. And then they turn around and they're like, well, I personally like Harry Potter, or I like, Star Trek, because that's great cinema. It's just like, but why is it okay for you to like that, but I can't like what I like? Why do I have a stigma? It's really weird, and that stigma is still around. Like, you have to be careful, like you said, Chris. Who do you tell? Oh man, I like anime. It's like, really? You? It's like, the heck does that mean? Oh, that's why that's not working. That's good. Okay. I knew there was something. I was like, there's something that is happening in this face that is not working. Come here and wrap itself around. See, you guys weren't even going to tell me that, were you? You're just going to let me have this incorrect design going on. I wonder if he's going to see it. I don't think he's going to see it. That's what y'all was thinking. I can see it. I feel it. Yeah, there we go. You're like, weren't you? I was like, weren't you? You were just gonna let me do that. Just make me look like a fool. Like, one side's way different than the other. I see you. Like, alright. Thought we were cool. Post on Discord. Alright. am red-handed. I was just gonna let me be out here. Like, you were just gonna let me be out here with this busted mask and not tell me. They're like, it's okay. Like I said, it's okay. I see you. Come down. Gotta come down. There we go. No more roast beef, egg, and cheese for me. Gym's open tomorrow. Alright. You gonna go? Like, really? You gonna hit the gym, man? I'm not saying that you weren't hitting the gym, but I mean, you gonna work out in a mask? Are you just gonna go in there and hope? You can go in there like the freaking Thunderdome and just be like, man, I sure hope I don't die. Two men enter, one man leaves. Like, I want to go to the gym bad, I really do, but I'm really trying to not deal with stupid people. Cause get this, man, I was up in the store and this dude for some reason thought that he needed to be in my hip pocket, like literally. And it was like I moved and I bumped into him. Like, why are you on me? And like, oh, well, are you worried about Corona? It's like, no, I'm worried about you being in my hip pocket. Like, you are in my personal space, man. Some people, like, they're just, I don't get it. It's like, why? Why are you this close to me? Like, back up. Like, back up, man. You are too close. Oh, that's too big. We can give it 2 weeks, okay? What do you want to keep about Corona? Staying 6 feet away from me. I know. It's like, can you just back up? And and then I'm looking at this guy. I turned around and I'm like, can you please back up? And then he was like, oh, okay. And it seemed like he was gonna be okay with it and like back off. He didn't. Like he was just like, oh, like he turned. He didn't back up. He just turned. And it's like, okay. And then the person in front of me left, right? So they went to the cash register, and I'm like, all right, I'll move up. He'll stay there. Nope. I took one step. He took one step. And it's just like, can you, like, we don't have to do this. but if you don't give me some space, man, it's gonna be a problem solely because you are too freaking close. And that's it. That is it. That is the only reason. But, for some reason, like I said, some people just, I don't know. I guess that's something they need. I just don't, like I said, I don't understand. I don't understand why people do that. Like, why are you this close to me? What? Okay, and then this up here, pulling back, we gotta pull this eyebrow up. And then it comes back down. So this was too low. Right. At Home Depot we had people all in our space and the marks of the floor were not 6 feet apart. Like, really? Are you telling me you don't have bed? Well, they probably do, but they're going, we really don't know how to use this. So we think this is close enough. I have my problems with Home Depot sometimes. It's like, sometimes they're great. Sometimes. And sometimes they're really, really not. Alright, here we go. Alright. I think there we go. For that. Dun, dun. Alright, so there's him. No. Nope. Crap. Draw this other hand in here. And almost home free. That's actually gotta go in front. Right, so. No, because this is going to come through like so. So the hands are here, right? I'm having problems visualizing my hand. That's a problem. I know it's still going to be in front, closer to the face, right? So it'll be here. Yeah, see, sometimes we struggle too. It's just like, wait, what? So if that's here, then this would come up, that'd be here, right? Thumb, 1, 2, 3. But we're going to have to rotate it to fit that sword. He still needs a name. He does. Not there yet. It's like, we're not there yet. Or I'm gonna have to move that sword and change the sword up a little bit. Do that. No, we're gonna have to change this. Right. Not make it shorter. Alright. Come in here. X. With these, definitely with the Patreon ones, I'm like, I work on the story once it's over. Which is very counterintuitive to what I normally do, but it allows me to focus on the actual. I just focus on the drawing, not necessarily the design, but on the drawing. And with that, you know, I get to explore a lot of different things. Like I did in my sketchbook, it became like, well, what does this character? What do we want this character to like be? Is he more of a or his look, like I was like, oh, I'll make him more like a hand-to-hand guy, And then as I kept drawing, I was like, nah, he's got to have this really cool, like, curved super sword. So Whimsy, in my new department, right? And they're like, yeah, so animation and all this stuff is real cool and blah blah blah. And he's like, look, but I gotta warn you, like, we have some interesting students. And I'm like, I've been there, 11 years teaching animation and game art. I'm leading animation and game art. I'm like, I'm good, right? And he goes, well, we have a student. He will only talk to you through his puppet. And I'm like, all right, we can do that, right? We can talk to each other through a puppet, because I'll have a puppet made. Like, screw it, and we'll just talk puppet to puppet. So you have seen it all. So there might be a time in the near future, because I haven't met this person yet, but I don't know if I will. But if I will, and if I need a puppet, when I come to you, hopefully you can help me out with said puppet, because I will have no problem sitting here behind the camera going with an awesome puppet. At all, like, not even kidding. It's just funny to me when people try and warn you, like, oh man, there's this thing, it's kind of odd. And I'm like, I know you guys don't know me, which is fine, but what's interesting, or what's telling about the situation, is that you have an issue with that, right? And you're like, oh well, yeah, it's kind of odd, I don't know how to deal with it. And like, make yourself, like, see, I would have made one of the, like, sandwich bag puppets, with like the sandwich bag and the googly eye, and not a problem. Like, that wouldn't even have freaked me out at all. Like, oh well, he's very shy, and he won't look you in the eye. I'm like, is he willing to talk? Like, if he talks through his puppet, I'm good. let's do it. So, like I said, just be aware that there might be something that's gonna happen, because I got zero issues with that. Do I hear you saying you Sesame Street puppeting class? Not yet, but if that's how I'm gonna reach a student, because he has issues talking to people, like severe issues, to where he's already created a persona to where he needs to have a puppet to talk to people, I'm there. Doesn't hurt me one bit. You want to talk puppet? Let's do it. Let's do it. It's like, let's go. Alright, we're really gonna have to work out this hand here. if I have this hand, oops. So if I have this hand, right, it comes here. Let's erase some of this. And I have that. His hand wouldn't be that high, and all right, so let's make a little bit more semblance out of this. So we're gonna erase this. All right. So now his hand, right? So we come up here. His hand's gonna be like that. How big is that? Yeah, short one. Okay. So there's the connector piece for the thumb. Right. So we go here. Right. And this part pops out. Right. There's your connector there. This will come up and in like so. And then you'll have your connection piece there. And while this goes up, right, so there's the knuckle. This can come up one. Maybe we need to turn it. Turn it like so. 1, 2, 3. Nope, this is actually going to be over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 hand. And it'll probably even, it's going to come even further down, so it'll be here. Right? We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Sword. And the sword, try not to be super huge. Like that. Alright. Hand worked out. Look, if anything, by watching this stream, I'm really hoping that you go, oh, I can make mistakes too. Yes, because I am not perfect by any means. And as you just witnessed, oops, I had a hand there, and then I redrew it, and then I redrew it, and then I redrew it. We'll erase that line. Right. And then we have this one, so that comes in like so. But there. And then this one. Up. Down. 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 Oops. Right? Bam, bam, bam. So we'll be holding this really big sword. It's probably, this one is too big. So we'll push that down. Like I said, I am definitely still trying to figure out how to work this style, right? Because it is new. It's new to me by a lot. Like I generally don't draw this way, right? And seeing what I cannot get away with. That's the fun part for me with this. Like how much can I actually get away with? You know? Like, do I have to draw every bone, or can I literally explore so much? So if anything, don't be afraid to try new things. Fail at them hard, and then be like, well, that sucked. And then move on, or go, you know what? That actually wasn't half bad. Because literally the only way you're ever gonna find out if something works is by trying it and screwing up and failing miserably. You know, when I was in college, so for those of you who know me, know that, you know, like markers is my bread and butter, right? Like I'm doing a lot more digitally, and that's great, but if you catch me any day, generally speaking, I'll be drawing with a marker, right? When I was in college and markers were introduced to me, I hated them. I sucked them so bad, and it was just like, this is horrible. Like, why would I want to subjugate myself to this? This is cruel and inhumane torture to do this, right? Why can't I just do it on the computer? And eventually I was like, you know what? No, because I'm going to these conventions. It would be great if I could add color, that just adds money. So yeah, let me try and work on this. And I went to my teacher, and his stuff was all super rendered, looked beautiful. Yeah, I was like, man, this stuff is amazing, right? So I was like, I want to learn how to do that. So we had a couple sessions in his office hours, and he was trying to show me how to do markers, and it did not click at all. Like, at all. The way he did it, I was just like, I don't understand. And then I would do it right after him. I would do it right after him. So I had just seen it, and mine turned out like a goopy pile of doo-doo. And then he would go, no, like this. And it would turn out to be, glorious. And I'm like, what the hell? And then, I kept going, trying to replicate stuff that he was doing. And then I jumped in color. We were using grayscales. So I jumped in color, right? And I made it so that I went from like 20 to 40 instead of doing 20, going over it again. So then it became a 25, and then going to 30, and it becoming a 30, and then going over it again and going 35, and then taking the 40 and it being 40, right? So I jumped from 20 to 40, and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of like that. And so then I actually started working with that, and surprisingly, my graphic style is what started to pick up, right? So much so that I became really known for it at the school, and the teacher who was teaching markers was like, will you do a demo for my concept class? Because it'll probably be nice to see another style, right, of doing it. And I was like, yeah, no, absolutely, right? I was like, sure, that sounds like a great idea. And then what was crazy about it was students would come in, and then they were like, oh, I wanted to come find you and say thank you because I can now do markers because of the way you showed it. Like, the way that the professor was doing it was all beautiful and stuff, but I just couldn't wrap my mind around how I was going to do that. And so when you came in and showed us how you do it and do color and stuff, it just worked out better. And I'm like, yeah. And the professor was like, yes, aren't you proud? Like, the style that nobody taught you, you kind of picked up and made on your own, is something that other people are going, that's easier than what the teacher's doing. And they're using it for their finals and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty sweet. But had I not tried, especially after failing so miserably, had I not tried, I would not be where I am today with markers. And I know that it's hard for some people because they're like, oh, failure is so finite, I guess. I don't know why there's so many people afraid of trying things, because you don't know what you like or what you're capable of until you actually try it. And so, that's why I tell all my students, I'm like, look, if you want to try watercolor, try it, but just know that you might suck at it. And if you suck at it and you turn it in for your final, you're gonna get graded because you made that choice, right? But I'm going, you should actually be trying this elsewhere. Like, you should actually be trying to you should be trying to figure out what style you want to draw it in, what kind of stuff you're working with outside of class, right? Or during smaller assignments, stuff like that. So, yeah, but you should be trying. Like, you should definitely try. Like, try it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? It's not gonna work? All right. Then you move on, right? And you're just like, all right, well, that sucks. All right, I'm cool. I'm a disciple. I have to go be mom. How great listening tonight. All right, thanks for stopping in. Thank you so very much. Have fun being mom. But yeah, no, I mean, Chris, I mean, remember when you were trying like your markers or colored pencils and it's like, this ain't working for you, man. You know? And then it's like, all right, well, let's try this technique. Let's try this. And you kept at it, right? And you're like, well, let me try this. Let me try that. Let me see if what he was saying is going to work for me here. And now, you know, the stuff that you've been posting on Discord, how many times are you going to play that? Now the stuff that you're posting on Discord is so much better than what you started with. And that's because you stuck with it, you know, like you were trying, you were willing to fail, and you were willing to go, all right, what am I going to do with that, and how can I be better? And that's one of the big things that I try and tell all my students is that, you know, it's only failure if you don't learn from it, right? So if you're coming in and you're just like, well, that didn't work, and then you stop and there's nothing that you gain from that, then yeah, you failed at that. But if you come in and you're like, all right, well, yeah, that really sucked and it didn't have the desired outcome that I wanted, how can I fix that? How can I get the desired outcome? What went wrong? How can I, you know, improve on what I'm trying to do? Then you didn't fail, you learned something. And that's a very big distinction. And I know there's probably people who are like, yeah, whatever, you know, you still failed. It's like, yeah, no, you did not get the desired outcome that you wanted. Absolutely true. But like I said, failure is something that it's something that you don't have to do. Like, you might just be awesome and God's gift to whatever you decide to touch. But for the most part, you know, you're going, I gotta try this, right? And failure is what indicates that you're trying. Because you're like, well, I tried it and I sucked, right? Just think about when you were a child, like a child, right? And you wanted to learn how to walk. And that first time when you got up all wobbly on your feet and you took that first step and you fell down, and then you're like, well, I failed. And then in your mind, you just stop. You're like, all right, I'm done. I will never be able to walk because on my first attempt, I was horrible at it. Right? So, and when you take it in the mindset of a child, right? Because that's what they're doing. They're constantly failing at certain things. And then it's like, all right, well, I gotta keep it up. I want to be able to walk. I want to be able to ride this bike. Right? I want to be able to read that book. And so they keep trying. And then they learn, they're like, you know what? Especially if you're like reading. Like my daughter, when we read and stuff, and she'll read something, I'm like, no, that's not that, that's this. This is how you say that. And it's like, oh, okay. And then the next time she'll remember it, or tries to. And we're like, wait a minute, that was this. Or it's pronounced that, you know. And then she's learning. And that's what's important. I'm gonna keep learning. So don't be afraid to try and fail, right? Just make sure you learn from it. There's that hand, look at that hand. Oh yeah. My whole talk about failing. Don't fail. Do fail. Although that line those lines are not as thick as the rest, so we're gonna beef those up. Beef up that line weight, very, very important. My line weight's very graphic, right? But line weight's important. Making sure you're showing weight and depth in your lines really convinces people that your 2D illustration feels as though it's 3D, right? Like, oh, I feel that person standing there. And it's generally because of the line weight that you're using. Failing sucked hard, but winning made it worth it, right? And that's the thing, a lot of people are shocked when they come into my class, right? And they get something like, this is garbage. Like, but I tried. I'm like, that's nice. I'm glad you tried. You need to try better because right now you have an F. And it's like, wait, what? Or my favorite. So all of you people who turn this in and don't have your name on it, you now have zeros. Like, wait, what? Like, I mean, I don't know who did this. Well, I can put my name on it now. You could, but I've already graded it. That was very, in my head, that was funny. You guys were destroyed. You could not believe that I would dare or have the audacity to be like, nah, y'all fail. Like, no. Like, you guys failed this assignment because you can't put your name on it. You know, it's like, someone was like, but I worked really hard. I'm like, you did. This would have been an A project. Congratulations. You got a 0. That was not BS. That was not BS, man. Think about this. You're applying to Sony, right? And everyone is applying to Sony. They get 50 products, and you don't have your name in it. They're like, we don't know who to contact. This one's gone. You waited weeks. I did not for that one. That was like the first one. Second one, because thumbnails was the first one. Because you guys are all like super eager. I couldn't wait weeks. Not that one. That one you cannot take from me and go like, oh, you waited forever, man. Other ones, sure. Absolutely. Hello. Hi.
They have cupcake all over the floor.
I have children. I don't know.
Where did they get cupcake from?
I don't know. Tyler.
Oh, you don't know where we got it from? We got it from that box of junk.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I didn't buy that kind.
I was like, Tyler. Hi. Star Trek over?
It's 10 o'clock. We gotta go to bed.
Is it 10? Oh yeah, it is 10.
We don't know. We can't tell time.
So is this my, you have 5-minute warning?
No, you can stay up as long as you want. I came downstairs so I can make KK happy and be on your stream.
KK left.
I know.
Oh,
KK is
adulting.
is contemplating what to do this weekend.
Oh, I was gonna say adulting.
Now that KK's not here, I can tell you KK is not going to be cooking a rack of lamb this weekend.
Not gonna be cooking a rack of lamb.
Not going to be cooking a rack of lamb.
Okay, no lamb a cooking.
He asked me that.
Oh,
And so I
Wait a
gave her
minute,
A
she-
list of ridiculous things.
Oh.
That I definitely. I don't even like lamb
I
that
was
much.
like, wait, is this the same ridiculous thing or?
I came up with a brand new ridiculous list.
Brand
However,
new.
the same thing that was on there's one thing from last list to this list that stayed.
And is that the rack of lamb?
No, I don't like red lamb. You like lamb. I only put lamb on the list, but you like lamb.
like lamb.
I can't say I don't like it. I do like lamb. I love lamb, actually. Not everyone can do it well. It is one of those things where I kind of put my nose up.
Oh.
And I am one of the people who can't always do it well, so like
Ah,
half the time we buy it, I'm like, you can have mine.
at least,
I didn't do well.
at least you are honest.
I'm gonna go have ramen while you have this $40 meal.
And then I just completely accept it. And be like, all right, well, I'm going to eat this lamb. Yeah.
Did you tell all your friends that you're jealous of your child's computer yet?
Oh, no. No. I told all the people who knew about it. My son had his birthday, and he wants to be a streamer. And we got him a new computer. And it is so much better than my setup right now. It is so much faster. So I might be a little jealous of the computer that I was able to obtain for my kid. Don't judge me.
Now JR's finally gonna come over and come look at it. To be like, let me see if this is even any good. Let me see.
JR should, but he won't.
He will.
I mean, at this point, he shouldn't.
He might need to go out for another jug of milk.
A jug of milk. My big sword wielding guy for no apparent reason. Nope, that needs to come down a little bit. Gonna refer back. Sleep on a couch. You
How
could.
many stairs between here and the couch?
Oh. Oh. Ew. I don't even. That's just. No.
No, y'all don't be cleaning this basement. Carpet's probably got 75 years of foot fungus rubbed into it.
Ew.
And it's only like 6 months old, so that tells y'all how dirty you are.
That's.
Worth of, yes. That means y'all are gross and don't bathe or scrub your feet.
Oh.
Nasty little goblin children.
And nasty little goblin children. That's funny. So, Chris, I actually challenged my new classes.
My curse?
No. To a sketchbook challenge, because they too, just like everyone else, have not finished sketchbooks. And so every single class, I was like, you guys got to finish a sketchbook from start to finish. And for some reason, I thought it would be something that would motivate them if I did it too. So now I have to finish 3 sketchbooks in a semester. Yay me.
How long is this semester?
15 weeks.
Because I have to be.
Yes.
How many pages in the sketchbook?
It's only 50, so 100 pages front and back.
What counts as a sketch?
That's a hard question to answer. Do you mean what counts as a sketch for me? At least a gesture. You know, not just scribble, but we can tell what it is. It can be a scribble, but if you're drawing a T,
Draw this stick figure.
you can't draw.
Giant.
You can,
That's clearly someone about to T-pose on somebody.
you cannot, because you remember stick figure lady, and I was like, you cannot do circles, line, leg, cross. You can do it once, but you can't keep doing it, right?
What if I keep changing his hat?
Then you need multiples, because I showed examples of like if you're doing something really quick and fast, like fast, or if you're doing 1-minute gestures and stuff, you need to have multiple images on the
What's
page.
a gesture? You keep saying this word like it means the same thing to the both of us.
It is a quick drawing. It's a sketch, quick sketch.
So, I just want to tell you that in the course of this conversation, I asked what counts as a sketch, and then you answered with another word for the word sketch. A sketch counts as a sketch.
It does not have to be.
It doesn't, because just
does not.
hands are just an expression of count.
It does not need to be. It's
And so does a raccoon's butt.
you need to, you need to draw. This is for your benefit. So you should draw so that it makes it better for you. If you think, hey, I drew a stick figure for 50 pages, then that, it's on you.
But no one said that. I just asked what counts as a sketch.
Everything counts as a sketch.
You should do that TikTok thing where you do okay boomer, but like inside language where you spell it as like
Well, first of all, boomer only has 2 O's, but okay.
Boom!
Would my picture of an owl count as a sketch?
Yes, because it's actually a picture of a tree.
No!
It's an owl, Dad.
It is an owl hiding, but there's
No!
No, the owl's right there. How can you not
It's
see it?
my picture of an owl.
I'm sorry. Your picture of an
You
owl.
are so lowbrow.
Owl. We talked about that.
Your artistic appreciation is still just pedestrian, quite juvenile, sir.
Yes. It's like, yes,
Also, it's an owl.
it's an owl.
God,
It is an owl. It's an.
people suck the joy out of the room. Should draw a taco.
I wanted to paint a taco.
You
You know
definitely
my
should.
burger? Yeah, I was between a burger, a taco, and a pizza, and I painted a burger. And now I need to paint a taco.
JoJo wants to have a food truck, so you should. Well,
The-
you all might want a food truck, but this JoJo I know for sure can cook well enough to have a successful food truck on the basis of the food and not the ponytail. JoJo is one of my very good friends, and they want a food truck. So you should practice your food art so that you can do the food truck art on the outside of the food truck. Your mom got too much work.
Okay. I think we have that together, so we can actually erase some stuff. Let's see. Chris, you said you played. I would like to think of it as I am challenging myself, not that I played myself, because there was absolutely no reason for me to do it, like none.
There's no reason you can't do it either,
I know.
other than the fact that you're teaching 3 to 4 classes, helping
I know.
4 public school students with their at-home learning,
And then
running a house, making sure people eat. Oh, and you have a preschooler.
I know all these things. It's going to be a challenge.
Trying to create a brand new game / comic book.
I know. I don't know. I have issues. Like one for lighting, one for shading.
I was reading a book and then
I don't know. I think I'm gonna do like one for hands. I have a gesture book for sure.
Well, we have to do that when we read books too.
Oops.
I know, but what if I play and it's weird and everything's old and I can barely read the computer, it's not very hard.
So first, read it on the computer. I get you because I am not the biggest fan of the Kindle books.
Ugh.
I love them for a lot of reasons, but then sometimes I'm just like, okay, I'm done with this, I don't want to do it anymore. And then I will tell you that things that are part of most accredited K-12 programs are boring, useless, and taught in the most generic of ways. That they are not particularly engaging for young teens. So we can definitely pick other works.
That was close.
I think it's just because I haven't done it. Like, it was really easy and sixth grade I thought it was going to be harder. And then I didn't do it last year because I didn't really do much school at all last year.
Well, you mean in the traditional sense? You mean like having to do assignments that someone else says?
I didn't really do a lot of reading.
No, I read you guys a lot.
Audiobooks are awesome. I co-sign audiobooks all day. You want to do audiobooks? You should do
Once you're in fifth
audiobooks.
grade, it totally counts as reading. Before fifth grade, you should do your 30 minutes of reading like the teacher said and stop even on
I still need to go ahead and get an account with an audiobook.
read books.
I listen. It's good. And then make fun of, I don't know, like kids or white boys.
The boyfriend?
Yeah.
His name's unimportant.
That sounds weird. Cheese on your mac and cheese is good.
Cheese on your mac and cheese. What a novel concept.
When you put it in the oven and have like a layer of cheese on top, it's so good. What's that? It's
Let's
worse.
just drop on his head a couple of times. Your daddy did it.
What's
It wasn't
worse
me.
than the
Probably.
box mac and cheese?
It's better than what?
Worse than the box
Oh.
mac and cheese.
Don't hate on the box mac and cheese, man.
It's not bad, but the other one is definitely better.
Did not.
We were at the Dollar Tree and you were
We didn't.
making iced tea.
Well, yes, we were very close and I didn't do it. But we have ice, I think. No, I'm a horrible I'm a horrible person. I got you soda. Well, I did.
Does soda taste like iced tea?
No.
Do you want a Coke?
No.
Well then, it's not what I want.
I understand that.
Squirt you with this puppy.
Please don't. It's like, please don't.
You should have tried it with the pink one. It would not come out no matter what you did. Those two work. Out of the 6 that we got, those are the only 2 that work at all. Baby said she wanted to keep them, but I had them until they were used. No one uses them, and then once you learn what you want to use them for, so.
So that you can be like, oh,
And I ate it, like, we did everything else.
no wonder your tummy hurts that bad.
No,
They
it's
should
not
stop
that
eating
it's
random
all
things.
I just say I ate it.
I always say your butt.
And
Clearly one of us is more mature than the other.
Brown. I don't think so hard because the first time I'm like in my belly. And he's like, where is that? I'm like, I don't know.
Stop being mean to the boy.
I don't know. I'm not spying on daddy 24/7.
Well, that's all you have to say is, I don't know. Why don't you go look for him?
Oh, I don't know.
Brown is funny because I get to stay up all late hours in the night. I'm his personal chef. I have to make everything that he wants.
That's a weird correlation.
Because remember when Baby and I were scrolling on the thing? He said, I want that. Tell you
Right.
to make it. And I was like, I'm not your personal chef. He's like, yeah, you are. You stay up so late in the night. You have to make it for me.
That's
and I'm like,
fun.
I'm not your personal chef. He's like, yeah.
Like, yeah. That's funny.
Brian, I have a new art style for you.
Okay.
You should ink things with puff paint.
Oof. But I hate inking. It's like from the start. Like, I hate inking. This sounds like a bad idea. What? Oh. It's too thick. All I want to do is finish this sword and kill that ant.
Cornbread. Your dad likes cornbread.
Send me a recipe.
Nope.
No.
Nope. You didn't make cornbread. Remember, you gotta know it in your soul.
I'm not remembering a single thing that goes with a cornbread besides sugar.
Amen. Anyone who likes unsweetened cornbread shouldn't be trusted. You know who taught me that? Mr. Bethune.
He was on earlier.
He's my favorite Bethune ever.
Remember when we were at the 4-H fair and we put all that sugar in my cornbread and they were like, it's good, not sweet enough.
Yep.
And I was like, what?
I'm like, no. I
And I
doesn't change that it's also hilarious.
Yeah. And the lady was so sad. She was just like, it was pretty. It was really good. It's just, it melted. Sorry, dude.
Well, it's always funny that they keep that stuff in like a non-air conditioned, cooled area.
I remember like the Clovers thing. Like, I forgot which one, but the little white people food that got placed inside.
It was like,
I remember when I got money from it, and everyone was like, why did you make so much money?
Yeah, because I won a lot. It would be
And I was like, because I put 10,000 things in.
like I put everything in. That's
I
hard.
put everything I made the entire year in this competition. Remember when I think it was last year, and I put lifting in and I won, but it was weird because I was for some reason an adult.
Yeah.
You screwed up.
Dude.
I was in it.
You know what? I cannot make this circle. So
That was funny when your class really tried answering, can you draw a perfect circle? They're like, I said yes.
it's like, well,
No, nobody can. You're like, exactly. It can make exactly. Did you? Or could your eye just not detect the inconsistencies of perfection?
Probably. But they did it really weird. It was on a whiteboard and
Yeah.
a pencil, and then they
Yeah.
did like that weird big.
There's a whole competition for that, and it's really cool. And yet when you see them, you're like, wow, that's a really good looking circle, and you go, but it's not perfect.
Well, I can't see that's not perfect, but when you measure it with a template, you can see.
That's still bananas, though. I mean, it's like it's amazing to watch people be able to do that.
You're amazing.
Nope. Thank you. 5 contract by 7. Okay, let's go with that. Oh no! No, party fail.
I thought it was party foul.
In this case, it was a fail.
Bed. I have to go to bed, Tyler. You made me come downstairs.
What? I came down after you.
You were like, come on, go downstairs.
No, I was nosy and I went down.
I was
Honestly, I was nosy too. That's why I'm here.
I was nosy.
Okay, but I gotta finish inking.
Uh-oh. Oh, are you inking again?
If you wish.
I think you might run out of stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know where the other one
Round. Although at this point I don't care. And you can tell.
There's a brief time in my life where my wife was gonna ink my work.
Tell me how brief.
It was pretty brief. It was pretty brief.
It took longer to tell that story than that time lasted.
It's not true. You
That's so true.
you inked an entire piece.
No, sir, I did not.
We have pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, there was a time when there was so much hope that I wouldn't have to ink things because I hate inking with a passion. And now,
A hashtag.
and now, with Jake Parker being suspect with his Inktober stuff.
Leave the man alone.
Why?
He's allowed to copyright and coin anything he wants.
Everyone is.
Exactly. Leave him alone. Just don't use the hashtag.
Never did, because I hate inking. So Inktober was just. Inktober's
For Inktober, do you just draw things or do you just ink things?
Both.
both. So there are prompts that they put out, and then you're supposed to draw whatever you feel that prompt says to you in ink. The whole idea is that it's inked. And, well, as someone who absolutely hates inking, that whole fad really upset me. And it apparently upset a lot of people, like the idea of just, having to ink all the time, because someone created Drawtober, which is
That sounds stupid.
why? You have artist prompts just like Inktober. It's just, you just gotta draw however you want. And a lot of people will ink that. It's weird, they'll ink it too, but I'm like, oh, if you're gonna ink it, you might as well just do Inktober. But
That's not fair because inking is different from drawing. So maybe someone draws something and then they ink it properly.
what?
Drawing and inking are different
It is.
as verbs.
Well, yeah.
Drawing in ink is also something, but drawing with an ink pen is not, in fact, inking
No,
a drawing.
you are correct.
So those people who draw it and then ink it, it's not the same thing as you might as well just.
That's
I exploded his eyeballs.
That's awesome.
I was all that.
Oh my goodness,
That's fine.
can't take a compliment.
I
That-
can, but now when it's a stupid one.
That's awesome though.
You're freaking awesome.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
But I think that's cool.
I'm telling you, you should start inking all your convention sketches and stuff paint. You'd have to buy better ones. Now you sound like him.
It's like, no. They don't really see it here.
I can't.
Look at that. Puff paint.
Did brown color it in? It looks like a brown color.
Again, when you go to bed, we check to see if my thing is dry because
I am literally done with my inking, so if you want me to check it right now.
Touch the important things in the dry by themselves and then touch everything else and move again. They dry by themselves.
there's only the small ones. No, those are already done.
So,
I did that with the light stuff. It's just some tunes.
Go check and see if they're dry.
I just put them in.
Oh, yeah.
dun dun dun, there he is.
Exactly. I don't have any clean pants.
All done. Well, all done with the inks. Going to save now. Colors for the next stream. There he is. I don't exactly know what to call him. He's
Bum. Call him bum.
Bum, apparently.
Roll and Bob the Bob.
If you want, you throw those away.
Bob the Bum. So, that's it. I'm going to bed. Hope you guys had a good time. Hope you got some work done with me. And we are going to hit another Rise and Grind stream in the morning. Hope to see you there. Yeah, she always does. But hope to see you guys there. And we're going to add some color to this guy and finish him off, make him look awesome. And we'll move on to a new character. So, alright. I'll see you guys at the next stream. Thank you so very much for hanging out. And remember, born a ninja, die a ninja. Alright, I'll see you guys later.